All right, the 963 MF Defense by ARMI OLMI G here. Let's get into it because it's all good news. Folks, it is all good news. Pretty much, this is the information video of everything I've managed to gather on this obscure pistol. There's really not much information. In fact, there's confusing information out there about this amazing piece. I've had somebody comment on my other video that this is a dead pistol, and when I asked them about it, they deleted their comment. I had somebody else comment that this is a discontinued gun, act accordingly. Again, when I asked that person, where are you getting this information from? Well, I haven't got a reply in like 6 days or however long it's been. So that's kind of what led me to getting a hold of ARMI OLMI G, the company here, and asking some questions. So I do have emails out right here. They did respond to me. They sent me a bunch of pictures and diagrams and stuff. So just know, there it is. I have been talking to them. The questions that I asked them, I think there was another YouTuber that got a hold of the shop with some general questions. The questions I'm asking about are things that I've been picking up on, from the videos that I've been dropping and the conversations I've been having about this pistol. So if you got any questions about it, I might be able to shed some light on that right now. So first things first, is this a dead pistol? And you know what, I can see why people would maybe think that, because they're looking at the price of this thing and they're like, man, it's like a fraction of what a new revolver costs. This is probably some failure of a gun that some shop is dumping and getting rid of, and they're sending it to, places like your local state armory for them to get rid of it for nothing. That's not true. It's actually the opposite. This revolver is just launching here in the US. So no, it's not a dead pistol. You're going to be able to get parts for this thing. You're going to be able to get upgrades for this thing. They have already mentioned hammers, triggers, different adjustment springs, all sorts of stuff, grips. They also mentioned different finishes on the gun. I asked them about bluing. I'd like to have one of these blued. Apparently that's going to be an option in the future. Very cool. Right now they are working on getting a shipment of parts and accessories and stuff like that over here. So that is the awesome good news. If you buy into this, you're buying into a gun that is just launching. That also means that the amazing price we've been seeing on this is an introductory price to get this gun out there in the market, because they know that if they price these right up there with a Smith & Wesson, the vast majority of people are going to go with the Smith & Wesson that they're more familiar with, that is more tried and true. So they have to give people a reason to take that chance, and I think it's just awesome. The revolver, by the way, I've taken this thing to the range. Mine is awesome. It runs flawlessly. I haven't even had to adjust the trigger on mine. And yes, well, I don't know if I want to call it a trigger adjustment, but there is a spring here, and you can unscrew it, release some tension in it, and that affects how heavy your hammer is, which affects how heavy your trigger is. The thing is, though, if you loosen it too much and make the hammer really weak and make a really, really light trigger pull, you're going to have a hard time busting primers and making rounds go off. So I just left mine alone, and I just wanted to see if the trigger would break in a little bit just right out of the box. Mine did great. My trigger is good, and even with a heavier pull, I was surprised at how much I was shooting with this in double action. I really thought I was going to go there and spend at least half an hour just shooting this thing in single action mode. How can I describe it? The double action becomes so predictable, like getting your trigger halfway pulled back and that hammer locked into a certain position right where it's going to drop. It's very predictable with your trigger pull. So I actually found myself shooting out to like 32 yards, or I'm sorry, 22 yards in double action, and I was still hitting 4-inch plates. That's pretty good for something like this. I really thought I would be reaching out that far in single action, so I shot this gun a lot more in double action than I thought I would. And it is just awesome knowing that something like this, you can just pull this out of your pocket, pull on the trigger, and it's good to go. And right out of the box, the way that mine is, I can pull this gun out of my pocket by the trigger, and I really can't do that with anything else. So at the same time, this is my subjective experience. I'm a 230-pound guy. I used to curl kettlebells, right? Like, I have the forearm to deal with this. This is like a preferred, pistol for me. The weight, it works very well for me. That might not be the average person, but that's perfectly fine, because you can tune this to your hand, right? So that's really cool. A lot of $1,000 revolvers are not coming with this adjustable system. Very cool. But on top of that, just the way that this thing is styled, this is something I've always wondered about, right? Okay. As like, the nut forming engineer in me comes out, and they're like, well, look at this area right here. Like, it just seems like you should be able to put a red dot there. It just seems like a red dot should be able to somehow slot in there, right? Like, if we get rid of this back post, right, we have a little design here that you could slide something into. And I was already thinking, like, man, if I could, like, get a piece of rail and shape it nah. Come to find out, though, that's exactly what these guys were thinking. They have hinted to me and pretty much directly told me that they're working on an adapter for this. Think about that. Right? The 4-inch model of this pistol comes with enough room here. It comes with a second hole, not just that one. It comes with enough room there to mount a pick rail, right? I think you get 4 slots of rail, so you can put a light or a laser on that. Again, that's already cool, because with most revolvers, you're not going to be able to do that out of the box. Now, I have seen contraptions out there that wrap around the barrel, and they let you attach a small attachment. This is way more universal with the rail that they got here, and it's just cool. And I think the 4-inch model of this pistol looks pretty cool with the beefed out nose from that pick rail that you're adding there. I was kind of hoping to get a 6-inch model. I was waiting, and they only have 3 and 4-inch models out right now. Upon hearing about all this news about the different stuff that they're working on, the different hammers and all the different parts and accessories, and the fact that they're actually working on something for a red dot for this, I already ordered my 4-inch model, so I'm making this video after that. So yeah, I'm all in, especially after taking this one to the range. It is a pleasure. I'm not that excited about this gun in 9mm because 357 mag is awesome for me. Again, I'm a 230-pound guy. This just makes sense for me, especially with how good it shoots. The 4-inch model can only shoot better because you have that much more barrel. I've had a fantastic experience with this pistol right out of the box. I think if you can score one right now from somewhere between 3 and 4 at like this introductory price that they're doing, and wait for them to bring in their parts, their accessories, upgrades, that's awesome, right? I think it's just a good buy right now, and there's not enough information floating around about what this company is doing with this pistol. This thing just kind of like showed up, really, and when people start digging for it, you're gonna find an old version of this pistol from 2013 that I think that one is dead. They stopped production on that. That's the one that had an extra locking mechanism right here, and those were more expensive. I think they were selling for closer to 2,000 over in Europe from what I could see. So I kind of see how maybe some people would look through all that crap and be like, oh, this thing's been discontinued already, and they're probably just dumping a bunch of them at this price. No, this shop is still here. They're going strong. They're a strong little Italian shop. They are crafting excellence, and this product is just launching here. So what you might have thought was a discontinued and dumped price come to find out, is actually an introductory price. So like and share so other people can see this. Go get yours now while you can. And hey, I'm going to keep making content on this thing. Like I've already told you about my great experience. If I hear anything else more, I will let you know. But I think for a lot of people, red dot adapter, that would be the awesome news for this. And all of that put together totally makes this thing a worthy buy. Like, I don't even care if you're comparing it to like a Smith & Wesson or a Ruger. You know, those aren't coming with accessories and support like that. Like, it's not that easy to put rails and optics on, you know, these other revolvers that start at $1,000, by the way. You know, with what they're doing, they're giving you, you know, the financial freedom to pick one of these up and then put $600-700 into it to get it finished how you want, or whatever you want to do to it, and still come in at that same price point as the Smith & Wesson or the Ruger. You know, so I just think it's a win-win right now. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, if I missed anything or if you found anything out about this a little bit less obscure pistol now. Leave it in the comments. They're always open. If you want to like and support what I do, well, then do that, and hit me up with a sub. I'd appreciate that. It helps me keep the channel afloat. I will see you all on the flip side. Have an awesome day every day, damn near no matter what day it is. So later.